Welcome to another video from Yenkna PCs. This time we're going to look at another website language called JavaScript. Now I'm going to let my AI take over. Here you go.
JavaScript, often abbreviated as JS, is a high-level, dynamic, weakly typed, prototype-based, multi-paradigm, and interpreted programming language. Alongside HTML and CSS, JavaScript is one of the three core technologies of World Wide Web content production. It is used to make web pages interactive and provide online programs, including video games. The majority of websites employ it, and all modern web browsers support it without the need for plugins by means of a built-in JavaScript engine. Each of the many JavaScript engines represent a different implementation of JavaScript, all based on the ECMAScript specification, with some engines not supporting the spec fully, and with many engines supporting additional features beyond ECMA. As a multi-paradigm language, JavaScript supports event-driven, functional, and imperative, including object-oriented and prototype-based, programming styles. It has an API for working with text, arrays, dates, regular expressions, and basic manipulation of the DOM, but the language itself does not include any I/O, such as networking, storage, or graphics facilities, relying for these upon the host environment in which it is embedded. Initially only implemented client-side in web browsers, JavaScript engines are now embedded in many other types of host software, including server-side in web servers and databases, and in non-web programs such as word processors and PDF software, and in runtime environments that make JavaScript available for writing mobile and desktop applications, including desktop widgets. Although there are strong outward similarities between JavaScript and Java, including language name, syntax, and respective standard libraries, the two languages are distinct and differ greatly in design. JavaScript was influenced by programming languages such as Self and Scheme. In 1993, the National Center for Supercomputing Applications, NCSA, a unit of the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, released NCSA Mosaic, the first popular graphical web browser, which played an important part in expanding the growth of the nascent World Wide Web. In 1994, a company called Mosaic Communications was founded in Mountain View, California, and employed many of the original NCSA Mosaic authors to create Mosaic Netscape. However, it intentionally shared no code with NCSA Mosaic. The internal code name for the company's browser was Mozilla, which stood for Mosaic Killer, as the company's goal was to displace NCSA Mosaic as the world's #1 web browser. The first version of the web browser, Mosaic Netscape 0.9, was released in late 1994. Within 4 months it had already taken 3/4 of the browser market and became the main browser for the Internet in the 1990s. To avoid trademark ownership problems with the NCSA, the browser was subsequently renamed Netscape Navigator in the same year, and the company took the name Netscape Communications. Netscape Communications realized that the web needed to become more dynamic. Mark Andreessen, the founder of the company, believed that HTML needed a glue language that was easy to use by web designers and part-time programmers to assemble components such as images and plugins, where the code could be written directly in the web page markup. In 1995, the company recruited Brendan Eich with the goal of embedding the Scheme programming language into its Netscape Navigator. Before he could get started, Netscape Communications collaborated with Sun Microsystems to include in Netscape Navigator Sun's more static programming language Java, in order to compete with Microsoft for user adoption of web technologies and platforms. Netscape Communications then decided that the scripting language they wanted to create would complement Java and should have a similar syntax, which excluded adopting other languages such as Perl, Python, TCL, or Scheme. To defend the idea of JavaScript against competing proposals, the company needed a prototype. Eich wrote one in 10 days, in May 1995. Although it was developed under the name Mocha, the language was officially called LiveScript when it first shipped in beta releases of Netscape Navigator 2.0 in September 1995. but it was renamed JavaScript when it was deployed in the Netscape Navigator 2.0 Beta 3 in December. The final choice of name caused confusion, giving the impression that the language was a spin-off of the Java programming language, and the choice has been characterized as a marketing ploy by Netscape to give JavaScript the cachet of what was then the hot new web programming language. Numbers did pitch their embedded web page scripting to Netscape, though web page scripting was not a new concept, as shown by the Viola www web browser. Numbers later switched to offering JavaScript instead of C in their Scriptease product and was part of the TC39 group that standardized ECMAScript. JavaScript and Java. A common misconception is that JavaScript is similar or closely related to Java. It is true that both have a C-like syntax, the C language being their most immediate common ancestor language. They also are both typically sandboxed, when used inside a browser, and JavaScript was designed with Java's syntax and standard library in mind. In particular, all Java keywords were reserved in original JavaScript. JavaScript's standard library follows Java's naming conventions, and JavaScript's math and date objects are based on classes from Java 1.0, but the similarities end there. Java and JavaScript both first appeared on May 23, 1995, but Java was developed by James Gosling of Sun Microsystems, and JavaScript by Brendan Ike of Netscape Communications. The differences between the two languages are more prominent than their similarities. Java has static typing, while JavaScript's typing is dynamic. Java is loaded from compiled bytecode, while JavaScript is loaded as human-readable source code. Java's objects are class-based, while JavaScript's are prototype-based. Finally, Java did not support functional programming until Java 8, while JavaScript has done so from the beginning, being influenced by schema.
Thank you, AI. This was a video describing JavaScript and what it does on websites. I hope you found this video educational. Please hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, and catch you later.